"Sir, the sign says do not pass, it's unstable." The ranger shouted, breathless. But the tourist just smiled and stepped over the rope. Then the ground cracked beneath his foot. The story. The waterfall at Falcon Ridge, tucked deep in the hills of North Carolina, was one of those rare places that felt untouched by time. Cold mist floated through pine trees and the water roared like distant thunder. Every summer, tourists came with cameras, sneakers, and big smiles. But that week, Kyle Morrow, 28, came with something else. A thirst for going viral. He wasn't just any tourist. Kyle ran a growing Instagram account called Death Proof, where he posted dangerous stunts at natural landmarks across the US. "Rules are just warnings," he once told a podcast. "And warnings are just suggestions." The setup. That morning, the trail was quiet. Kyle hiked alone with a GoPro on his head, drone in his pack, and a smug grin on his face. He wore a hoodie that said "More risk, more views." Halfway up the cliff, he passed 2 warning signs. A weathered rope barrier and a third sign in red. "Do not cross. Landslide area." He laughed. "Perfect," he said into his phone's camera. From behind the ranger station, Ranger Ellie Jensen, 42, saw movement on the live drone feed. Her stomach dropped. "Someone's on the cliff line," she told her coworker. "Right above the fall zone." She grabbed her radio, binoculars, and sprinted toward the ridge. The fall zone. Kyle stood inches from the edge. Below him, Falcon Ridge plunged 120 feet into sharp rock and cold mist. He took a deep breath and turned to film. "Hey Death Proof fam, I'm standing somewhere no one is allowed to go. You know me. I don't do safe." He raised one foot and pretended to step off. Then froze. A soft cracking sound under his boot. He looked down. The dirt beneath his shoe shifted. Then it crumbled. The shout. "Don't move." Ranger Ellie yelled from across the ridge, hands cupped to her mouth. "Drop to your knees. Crawl backward." But Kyle just waved her off. "I'm good. It's just soft." Crack. The ledge beneath him gave way. A 5-foot slab of rock and dirt slid toward the drop. Kyle fell to his chest, gripping a root with both hands. GoPro bouncing against his chin. His drone flew sideways and crashed into the trees. His voice, once cocky, now cracked with panic. "Help. I can't move." The scramble. Ellie didn't wait. She clipped her rope to a tree and crawled the slope, digging her boots into loose gravel. Every move sent pebbles flying into the canyon. "You're gonna listen to me now," she said, breathless, as she neared him. Kyle's fingers were bleeding. I thought it was stable." "It didn't look." "It never does," she snapped. He tried to shift his weight. The root tore. He slipped half a foot down. Ellie lunged, grabbed his jacket collar with one hand, rope with the other. "Don't move." Again. The save. With her legs wrapped around a pine trunk and her rope holding tight, Ellie slowly pulled Kyle backward, inch by inch, until his hands touched solid earth. He rolled over, shaking. Ellie sat beside him in silence, chest heaving. "Why?" she finally asked. "For likes." He didn't answer. The aftermath. Back at the ranger station, Kyle sat wrapped in a foil blanket, staring at his broken drone and torn hoodie. Ellie handed him a citation. Trespassing. Tampering with federal signage. Endangerment. He nodded. But then he took out the memory card from his GoPro and snapped it in half. The last post. That night, he posted a black screen on his page with a caption. "There's a line you don't cross. Today, I learned where mine was. Sorry to anyone I inspired to do something stupid. This page is done." And just like that, Death Proof went offline. But Falcon Ridge still stood. And now, it had one more story to warn the next fool who didn't read the signs.